right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tapping into another episode of RNS Sports Talk. We got the Kent folks here with us. That's Mr. Put Life. And being that he's a lifelong Steeler fan, and today's topic is about Coach Tomlin, I thought it would only be fair and appropriate to bring on another Pittsburgh Steeler fan to discuss this topic. So, hey, what's happening, Kent folk?
What's good, Ray?
Well, I want first thank you for giving me a few moments of your time and coming on the show. So I appreciate you. So thank you for that, sir.
Always, anytime.
Now, so the first question, we're going to get straight to the nitty gritty. We ain't got time to be dancing around. We don't need no entrees. Bring the meat and potatoes, right? Is it time for Mike Tomlin to go? Flat out.
Personally, 3 years I've been calling for him to go. Now I'm going to retract just a tad bit on it. It might not be time for him to go, but it's time for his ways to go.
Okay.
His ways, and I mean his game planning, his strategies, and this and this and this. You got to think about it. That man been there, 15 years. Old NFL is not going to work in the new NFL.
That's true.
We have at the end of the day, every NFL team has a professional athlete, a stellar athlete. They made it to the NFL, so they can ball, they can play. But now when you start taking, I'm gonna go use high school concept. When you start taking your talent and you're handcuffing it, you're not gonna be successful. You're not gonna win. We have the talent in Pittsburgh. We're not playing 2022 NFL football. I'm not even going to say Pittsburgh Steeler football, because Pittsburgh Steeler football goes back to the 70s and the 80s, where you're playing that power game, that conservative game. No. These guys now, all professional athletes, they got some type of swagger about themselves on top of their skills. So they want to get out there. Basically, and this is what I tell people, prime time was ahead of his time. Deion done this from Florida State. I can go further back. He done this in Fort Myers in high school, through Florida State, through his professional career. He had that swag. Now, all these athletes have that, but when you're in the wrong system, it's going to get handcuffed.
Let me ask you a quick question, though. Mike Tomlin been there since like 2010 or 8 or 9 or something like that, right?
Yes.
All right, now.
8, I believe.
So, and he won the Super Bowl in 2012.
He won Super Bowl his first year, second.
Okay. But let me ask this question then, because it's a fair question. Because this is kind of speaking to really what he really capable of.
Mm-hmm.
How many players on that Super Bowl team did he draft? Or did he inherit that team from Coach Cowher?
That team. He got that from Coach Cowher.
So, since he's been in charge of developing the team and running the team from a coaching standpoint, what do we really have to, besides not having a losing season? And then he did have a lot of consecutive playoff appearances, but we already know don't nobody care nothing unless you the winner, right? So, what has he really done? What has he accomplished?
Nothing. And this comes from a diehard. And I say that because how many Hall of Famers does Mike Tomlin has he had? Starting with a Hall of Fame quarterback. He didn't draft him. He's had Hall of Fame players that were there already within the organization. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I don't see anybody that he's drafted since he's been at the helm that is going down there on I-77. I don't see nobody going in the Hall of Fame.
T.J. Watt?
I don't. Might be the only one. But what's the rest of his career going to be like?
He injury prone now.
all day long because you're not getting younger, you're getting older. And the athletes are getting stronger and faster. So you may not be able to rebuild and get stronger and faster because once you're damaged, you're damaged. You maintain it. I would hope that he would make the Hall of Fame and he would carry him. But back to the question, Tomlin has, in my eyes, he's done nothing spectacular. And when they talk about, oh, he hasn't had a losing season, those are personal accolades. That's only for his resume, not the organization's resume.
I see what you mean.
That's for him. And then you got to look at it. I got so many people on fire in Pittsburgh Steelers forums. It's ridiculous because I tell them that. If you, first of all, that rebuilding, I don't believe in rebuilding at the professional level. You're a professional. You're paid to do a job. You're not rebuilding.
Ain't nobody working for free.
No. And when we talk about winning seasons, he's never had a losing season. Are we playing for winning seasons or are we playing for the Lombardi Trophy? Because if I go 8-8, if I go 12-4, and the motherfucker that goes 8-8 goes win the Super Bowl, who had a better season? The 1 year we won the Super Bowl, we were 8-8. We were a wild card. But we're the champion. Those winning seasons, that record at the end of the year means nothing. Because right now, you can go ask 10 people who lost the Super Bowl last year. Motherfuckers going to sit back and think for a second. So we'll go back to the Ricky Bobby phase. If you ain't first, you last. We all know who won the Super Bowl, but when you really go ask jokers, they'll sit and hesitate if it wasn't their team. Damn, who did play in the Super Bowl? We know who won, but damn, who did they play? That winning season, losing season, that shit don't mean shit to me.
So that's more of an individual accolade, and it's nothing for the organization to hang his hat on, is what you're saying.
It's nothing for the organization to hang its hat on. And here's the whole problem. We're starting to realize this as grown men in our lives. Sometimes loyalty will hurt you. Loyalty can be a bad thing. Think about it. In the Pittsburgh Steelers history, we've only had 3 head coaches. 3. Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, Mike Tomlin. But the things that Chuck Noll did and the things that Tomlin did, they had losing seasons, but they get praised a little bit more than Tomlin too. Man, fuck that losing season shit.
Right.
That shit don't mean nothing to me.
Now, let me ask you this one, because you brought up a word, loyalty, right?
Right.
So with the recent, we've all been checking out the headlines, Antonio Brown and all the multiple situations he keep getting himself caught up into. So since we're talking about Tomlin, I just want to ask you this question. Do you think Mike Tomlin managed Antonio Brown in his ways, or do you think he enabled Antonio Brown?
I think he did both. He managed it because he was doing what he needed to do on the field, so it's making him look good.
Right.
Enabled him. You knew what was wrong with this brother. You knew he was a problem, but you didn't want to deal with it. You didn't want to be the bad guy. Because if it flourished and it did what it did, everybody looks good. He looks good. And I'll tell you why he looked bad. Okay, you get rid of him. You didn't stand for him. Bam, bam, bam. You didn't hear his whole side of the story out. But the man goes to a team 2 years later and he wins the Super Bowl. Now, I have no doubt in my mind, had Antonio Brown finished with the Steelers that year, we'd have went to the Super Bowl. He was a key. He was what we were needing. We couldn't stretch the field. Le'Veon's head was cuckoo. He couldn't do it all. We had the talent again. And honestly, since Antonio Brown has left, what have we done? Decline. We declined. Me and you talked 2 years ago. We have a receiving core. We have the talent. can't get the rock to him. So how's it Antonio's fault? He can't throw the ball to himself.
Facts.
He can't throw it to himself. He enabled him more so than managing. The managing part comes from long as Antonio was quiet and not stirring up the hornet's nest, he was making you look good, Tomlin.
So is the perception of Tomlin being this great leader of men and building men, is that accurate, or do we need to tamper that down a little bit?
Tamper it all the way down.
Okay.
Here's one of the things within our community, and to me, nobody want to say what they want to say about him because he's a black man. Oh, you want to get rid of the black man? No, I want to win, motherfucker. I don't care who over there.
That's right.
I talk shit. When I lose, I can't talk shit. I do, but I get shit talked back to me, and I gotta take it.
You can't step out the car.
I can't get out the car, but I gotta take it, and I don't want to take it all the time. I want to give it. It's like I don't want to be the ass of the joke all the time.
I know that's right.
Nobody wants to sit there and say, "Oh, he gotta go. And a lot of it stands on the fact that because he's a black man. I read something today where a joker said, and this is I didn't even think. They say, "Oh, Mike Tomlin's turned into the new Lovey Smith."
Oh.
But you got to think about it though. It makes you think.
Pause for the cause.
It makes you think.
Right.
And I say this because I thought about this last night because we knew we was gonna talk about. I thought about this on the road. We don't see Mike Tomlin with the motherfucking snot in his nose and the spit in his beard no more. So, are you over there, you just Cadillacing, you chilling? Because, they read into things, and you got a lot of women out there saying, oh, he's a sexy coach. Oh, he's a handsome black man. So now you just over there Cadillacing and profiling with your glasses on. I ain't seen no snot in the beard. I ain't seen no snot out the nose. Before, you was that fiery guy. Now you just laid back.
Yeah, I ain't seen them chest bumping or nothing no more.
And so that tells me, are you checked out? Are you just riding the wave? Because when you were doing those things with the snot in the beard and the nose, you were motivating men. You're not motivating anybody. Nigga, you was motivating me sitting in the living room.
Hey, I heard somebody say if he was really a good coach, he would have fired Matt Canada by now. Come on, Pud. You can't get quiet on me now, baby.
Ain't nothing to say because it should have been done. It should have been done. Back to that word loyalty. That loyalty will hurt you.
So, ultimately, in conclusion, it sounds like Mike Tomlin might need to step away from the game for a couple years, revamp his image, his coaching approach. Because another thing, if you're going to try to develop a young quarterback like Kenny Pickett, remember, I got this from Colin Cowherd, so I'm going to give him his props. You need an innovative offensive coach to develop a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
You see how he had Big Ben looking the last 5 years? They could have did.
But did he have Big Ben looking like that?
Well, I think the last two was Ben. He was done, and he was trying to hold on for the last glory. But I think the three before that, I think it was just stagnant. Because, I think Tomlin might have got comfortable because with the whole, I know my defense is going to make a play at some point in this game. All I got to do is not turn it over and try to be a field position. But like you stated, that's 70 and 80s ball. And shit don't. Go ahead.
You just got to something that I also thought about. I used to talk about Big Ben and Tony Romo to where they did things on the field because when they looked to the sideline, there wasn't a motherfucker over there to take their place.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mike Tomlin, have you developed that attitude as I'm the face of the Steelers right now?
Is that why
he's going to come in and take my place?
Or is that why he got them insufficient, inadequate underlings? So he can't. So now real quick, because we get into our time limit for the sponsors. But real quick, now we talking about him having maybe the heart of a hoe.
Hello.
Because they say once you worry about losing your spot, you done already lost your spot.
Come on. Old school ways, old school
So
strategies.
he coaching scared.
He coaching comfortable.
So as a Browns fan, I think the Steelers should keep Mike Tomlin for the next 10 years.
And y'all will run off the next 5.
Keep that boy, man. Don't let him go.
And it won't be. I'm keeping it real. We spoke that Monday, Sunday, before we played that Thursday night game. And what did I say? And I was almost right. I said, Chubb and old boy gonna go for 250. Remember? They damn near did that.
They damn near did, cuz you said that.
I never said we were gonna win. I'm like, this is a cakewalk. Because here's the deal. Go back 5, 10 years ago. We could pencil the Browns and the Bengals in as a win.
Guaranteed.
You're not gonna do that anymore as long as Tomlin's there. I'm guaranteed. I'm standing 10 toes down.
All right.
I will never, as long as Tomlin is there, I will never talk shit to a Cleveland Brown fan ever.
I'm gonna hold you to that one, cuz I promise you.
Nigga squeeze me. I ain't saying shit.
All right,
I ain't never quiet.
Okay, well, look at here, man. They're gonna have to do something. So, first of all, I really want to thank you for coming on the show and just keeping it in the buck as a Steelers fan, because sometimes as a homer, and I'm guilty of it, because I rolled with Baker Trashfield for 4 years. I wouldn't say one bad word about him, but I was watching that boy on the Panthers, and I was like, woo! What did I didn't see?
You know what? I'm going to be honest. When everybody was talking, Steelers might get Baker, I'd have welcomed him with open arms. I'd have took him. But after last week,
I knew a butt was coming.
But
his QBR is like 13, cuz.
Mine is higher than his.
Right. I got my QBR higher throwing shit in the trash.
Yeah. Throw a cigarette butt out the truck on the highway, my shit better than his.
It looked like he got everything that you need, but something is missing with Baker, man. But anyway.
He's cursed. When he stuck that OU flag at the 50-yard line in the goddamn Ohio Stadium, playing my Buckeyes, he's been cursed.
He shouldn't have did that.
No.
Not in the state that's the birthplace of football.
Not.
All right, fam. Well, I want to thank you for coming on Put Life. I love you, baby.
Uncheckable, baby.
Uncheckable, but always keeps it a buck. I love you, man.
Love you, baby.
In a minute.
100.